Dr. Murthy, like Vidar said that, substance users carry guilt. What is the one thing that friends and family of these users also need to know about this condition?
I mean, if you removed the addiction out of the individuals, these are perhaps the best people that I've actually interacted with, and that really sustains my interest and love to work, with people with addiction, because once they are free of the addiction, they're some of the most, wonderful people in society. So I think it's very important to separate the addiction out of the individual and recognize the individual as somebody who has a problem just like any other disorder or disease. That makes it much more easy to accept the individual. But at the same time, families, and Sahila, you did mention that you yourself went through certain difficulties, and I'm sure that families also need a lot of support. And one of the things that I always do is provide support for the family, because they have a lot of emotional turmoil, they have a lot of unanswered questions, they have a lot of misconceptions, and therefore it's very important to educate families about addiction, about separating the individual and the addiction, of course, being able to create an environment where the person feels supported, feels wanted, but at the same time perhaps have certain limit setting in terms of maybe getting help on a timely basis, of maybe changing the lifestyle in a particular basis, in a particular way, so that the individual also has a greater structure in terms of recovery. So families need to stop blaming themselves, but at the same time be more supportive of the individual, perhaps also learn to recognize the early symptoms of relapse, because sometimes family members can recognize it earlier than the individual themselves, but also equally not be constantly, worrying and, over involved with the individual. Give them a certain sense of autonomy while being watchful about the problems, the potential for relapse. So it's a very challenging condition for families themselves, but I've seen wonderfully supportive families who really help the person emerge out of the addiction, because finally the individual is happy and the families are happier once a person is able to deal with their addiction.